What is going on? I just wanted to make this video as a piggyback to my last video. The last video was about uh, quitting jobs the right way. This video was about the transition from the other job to the new job. And again, this is for the over the road companies, not necessarily the local companies, but it's something that the over the road companies, those big companies, I'm not going to mention any names, but they all pretty much do the same thing. And that is when you apply for their jobs, a recruiter will reach out to you, and you will go through the whole process, the interview process. They're gonna pull your motor vehicle record. They're gonna reach out to your former employers, and you're gonna go through everything. And then if everything checks out, they're gonna reach out to you and say congratulations, you've been cleared. They're gonna set you up for orientation, plane ticket, bus ticket, and do all this stuff that that will have you thinking that you have the job already. Because who's going to spend all this money on the plane ticket, bus ticket, hotel fare for a whole week and all this stuff? Who's going to do that if they don't plan on hiring you? And the reality is you're not hired yet, because you still got to do a road test. You still have to do a medical. You still have to take your, watch those videos and do all the safety stuff that's connected to getting the job. But the main thing is the road test and the medical. And then the other thing that they do is that they monitor your behavior while you at orientation. Those are contributing factors to you getting a job. So just remember, if you go to orientation, just understand that everything that you did with that first recruiter, you're going to do again when you get to orientation. All right. Think of it as a pre-qualification letter for a credit card. You know, you get those in the mail, and then you call them thinking that gonna claim your credit card, and they tell you we gotta run your information first, and then that'll determine whether or not you get the job. It's basically the same thing. You pre-qualified. Then when you get down to the orientation or start the orientation, then that's when you get qualified for real. And everything that you gave the first recruiter, be ready to do all that stuff all over again. All right. If you have any issues with your medical, make sure that you have things from the doctor, sign from the doctor that you have been checked out and that you are safe to operate the equipment. So, because at the end of the day, it's going to, come down to that, the core of being a driver, and that's proving that you can drive, your driving record, and the medical. All right. So, you need to be ready for that. Some of them over the road companies do physical abilities tests. So you might want to walk or run or do a little something, because I know of a company, I'm not going to mention no names, but they do a physical abilities test where they have you picking up stuff and moving stuff around to simulate climbing in and out of the trailer. So I don't know if everybody's moved to that, but I know that that's something that was new when I saw it, and that was some years ago. So just be ready for all that, man, and just understand that you when you attend orientation, watch your behavior, because they watching your behavior. They're listening to what you talk about. They were looking at your attitude. So if you bad mouthing other companies, bad mouthing other supervisors from previous jobs, you complaining about the governor on the trucks, anything negative, could potentially have you bounced up out of there. There's people that made it all the way up to the last day of orientation, and they got bounced. You could clear medical, clear your employment history and everything, but if they detect that there's something that you might be a problem based on your attitude and how you carrying yourself, they're gonna walk you out the door. So you got to be really careful with that. All right. And remember, you trying to get through this first year. The first year for most drivers is the roughest year. All right. That's the most challenging year. I know for me, that year one was pretty challenging for me. After that, once I got around to month 11 of my Class A experience is when the field started opening up. And I'm gonna make a video about that to give you an idea on what to expect once you get out of your first year. So I've been watching videos of people that have been that are new to the industry, and a lot of people are giving up fast because they don't like the over the road part. And I understand that nobody really likes that part. But if you can get past that part, if you can just, hold on and endure, then you'll find that there's a lot of opportunities out there for you. So, it's actually worth it, despite all the stuff you're hearing about technology and autonomous trucks and all that stuff. There's still time to get it. Still time to get it. So, with that being said, hopefully this helps you. Again, as a recap, if you quit the right way. Once you go to another company, be ready to regurgitate and resubmit all of the information you gave that recruiter. When you get to orientation or start attending orientation, understand that you are being watched by everybody. So even if you pass everything, if your attitude sucks, they see that there's a problem, they're gonna cut you loose. All right. And I got to bring this up. I wasn't gonna do it. If you attend an orientation, understand this. Okay, I know sometimes accepting a job is something to celebrate. Especially making this move is something to celebrate because it could be a life changing experience to go from doing whatever else to trucking, because there's so much you can do with trucking. And again, I'll get into it later at another time. But I bring that up because I know somebody who was celebrating. He didn't understand what he was getting himself into. So he thought in his mind, that, hey man, I got this new job. I'm starting tomorrow. I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna drink and do whatever. And he goes to the orientation with a hangover. Not only did he go to the orientation with a hangover, he mentioned, oh man, I'm kind of hungover. He actually says it out loud, not understanding that. So no, bro, you can't say that. You can't do that. And to his surprise, he was walked up out of there that same day. In fact, he was walked up out of there within a few minutes after him saying that. So I say that to say, if you gonna celebrate your new job, just make sure you give yourself enough time. Don't be smoking weed, because you got to do a drug test. That ain't, listen, I know, I don't know what word to use for it. I'll say the green grass is legal in some states, but, it hasn't been legalized in the trucking space yet. So don't test dirty. You test dirty, you're just going to make it worse for yourself, man. Whatever you do, don't do that to yourself, man. Try to clean up and, try to get that desire out your system, because it's going to ruin your career. It's going to, I've always looked at it like this. The positive thing is that it always kept me employed. People that can't stop, people that want to make excuses as to the reason why they want to continue to smoke that stuff. Okay, cool. Go ahead. But when I apply for a job, somebody that don't do that, I usually get it. There's always opportunities for people like me. So, and I ain't trying to talk, a certain way, but it's just what it is. So, man, help yourself out and try to clean that stuff up, man. Especially your first year. I'll say it like that, because people are gonna do what they want to do. Your first year, you need to be clean. All right, and just understand, randoms are done all the time. So, just because you dodge a few randoms don't mean that you're not gonna get caught. Even somebody like me, I didn't get caught in a random like dirty, but just when going to work one day, hey man, here you go to the clinic. I'm like, wow, really? Like, oof. It's a good thing I don't do that stuff. So when I get caught in a random, I go with a piece of mind. I'm like, cool, let's go. All right, I'll still get paid a couple hours, and I ain't gotta worry about nothing. This is some free money I'm getting to just go over here and pee in this little cup and give it to them and come on back to work. And I don't think nothing about it. It feel good to be able to do that. I see stuff online. People asking all these questions. Oh man, what company do drug testing? And man, if you got this on your record, man, how long it take, man? Because I've been looking for a job and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So try to clean that up. But that's pretty much it. I went a little bit longer than I anticipated for this video. I was trying to keep it shorter. But yeah, man. Just listen to what I had to say, and you'll be all right. All right, y'all be safe out there.